It was supposed to be just another quiet weekend in the suburbs of Tacoma, Washington. 18-year-old Amanda Collins was home alone while her parents were out celebrating their anniversary. Her younger brother was with their grandparents, and Amanda had the entire house to herself. She was no stranger to being alone. It was something she even looked forward to. But something about this weekend felt wrong from the start. The Collins house sat on the edge of a wooded neighborhood, where the wind always seemed to whisper through the pine trees after dark. Amanda loved her alone time. She ordered Chinese food, pulled up a horror movie and curled up on the couch. Just after midnight, her phone buzzed. No caller ID. She ignored it. Then came the doorbell. Amanda paused the movie and glanced at the clock. 12:17 a.m. She wasn't expecting anyone. Maybe the delivery guy returned. She quietly approached the door and peeked through the side window. No one. She turned on the porch light. Still nothing. Uneasy, she backed away. This time it was slow and firm. Amanda's pulse jumped. She didn't open the door. Instead, she tiptoed to the hallway and grabbed her phone. Her thumb hovered over the emergency call button. Then a voice came from outside. "Hey, I know you're in there." Amanda froze. The voice wasn't yelling. It was calm, calculated. She whispered into the phone as she called 911. The dispatcher told her to stay calm and hide in a secure room. She ran to her bedroom, locked the door and crouched with the phone. She clutched the baseball bat from her brother's closet. A moment later, she heard the sharp crack of glass. The sound came from the kitchen. Her heart raced as she whispered to the dispatcher that someone had broken in. Heavy footsteps echoed through the house. Whoever it was didn't rush. He took his time. Amanda held her breath, listening as drawers opened and cabinets slammed. Then silence. The bedroom doorknob rattled once, then stopped. Amanda covered her mouth to stifle a gasp. Minutes passed. Outside, faint sirens grew louder. She heard movement, then nothing. Moments later, a knock on her bedroom door made her flinch, but it was the police announcing themselves. Officers found the kitchen window shattered and muddy footprints leading through the house. Oddly, nothing valuable was taken. Instead, they found her opened mail on the table. Someone had gone through her personal documents. Whoever he was, he wanted information. And he had vanished before police arrived. He was never caught. Amanda's family installed security cameras and never left her alone again. Hundreds of miles away in Pennsylvania, 16-year-old Tyler Green lived in a quiet cul-de-sac. One chilly autumn night, his parents attended a school fundraiser, leaving Tyler home alone. He wasn't nervous. He made popcorn, turned on his Xbox and settled in. Sometime around 8:45 p.m. during a game pause, he went upstairs for a soda and glanced outside. He thought he saw someone moving along the fence line. Just a shadow. He squinted into the darkness but saw nothing. Probably a neighbor, he figured. Back in the basement, he left one headphone off, just in case. That's when he heard it. It wasn't coming from the game. Tyler muted the screen. The tapping returned, slow, deliberate, like fingers on glass. He crept upstairs and turned off the kitchen lights. The tapping continued. Hiding low, he peeked over the counter. A man stood outside the kitchen window. He wore a dark hoodie, face shadowed, tapping something metallic against the glass. Tyler froze. After a moment, the man stopped tapping but didn't move. He just stood there, staring in. Tyler backed away slowly and ran to his parents' room. He called the police in a whisper and told them everything. As he waited, he heard the backyard gate creak open. Footsteps moved along the porch, then silence. Police arrived minutes later. The man had vanished. Officers found a crowbar in the yard, cigarette butts by the fence, and footprints in the mud. Whoever he was, he'd been watching for a while. And he came prepared. The neighborhood circulated security alerts. Some neighbors had seen the same man lurking earlier that week. But he was never caught. The third story happened in Dallas, Texas, where 17-year-old Claire Mitchell had grown used to being alone at night. Her father was an ER nurse and her mother a 911 dispatcher. Both worked long shifts. Claire usually spent her nights doing homework, watching movies, and texting her friends. But one February night changed everything. She had just finished her math assignment when her phone rang. Block number. She picked up, assuming it might be her mom using a work line. No response. Just silence. Then the line disconnected. 10 minutes later, another call. Again she answered. This time, a distorted voice spoke her name. Claire. It sounded mechanical, like someone had run it through a filter. She hung up instantly. Her hands trembled. She texted both parents, telling them what happened. Neither replied. Then the lights went out. Total darkness. Street lights outside were still on. Just her house had gone dark. She grabbed her phone and turned on the flashlight. Something was wrong. Deeply wrong. The phone rang again. Block number. She didn't answer. This time the voicemail was short. I see you. Claire nearly dropped the phone. She ran to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and locked herself in the bathroom. She called 911 and whispered through sobs that someone was stalking her. And now her power was out. The dispatcher told her to stay quiet and remain hidden. Officers were en route. Every second felt like an hour. Somewhere in the house she heard a noise, like a door creaking open. Then nothing. Finally, she heard a knock on the bathroom door, followed by a calm male voice. Dallas PD. You can come out now. 2 officers stood outside. They cleared the house and found the breaker box outside had been deliberately switched off. In the backyard near the window were fresh boot prints. Whoever had called her wasn't some prankster. He'd been outside watching. The worst part. Investigators discovered her number had been exposed in a data breach from a school app weeks earlier. Names, numbers, and even addresses were available. The calls had come from a burner phone, which led nowhere. Claire never stayed alone at night again. Even more disturbing is the story from 19-year-old Ethan Brooks in rural Michigan. He had just moved into a small cabin his uncle had left him. It was meant to be temporary, a place to stay while he attended a nearby trade school. The cabin was in a quiet area, surrounded by woods. Ethan liked the isolation. His phone barely worked, but he didn't mind. Until one night in October. He had just finished eating dinner when he noticed something strange. His front door was unlocked. He was sure he had locked it. He brushed it off as forgetfulness and secured it again. Around 1 a.m. He was in bed when he heard what sounded like footsteps on the porch. He grabbed his flashlight and looked through the window. Nothing. Then the knock. It wasn't on the door. It came from the side of the cabin. A slow, rhythmic knock against the wooden wall. Then another. Closer this time. Ethan grabbed his hunting rifle and turned off all the lights. The knocking moved. Now at the back of the house. He didn't call 911. There was no cell service. He sat in silence, staring at the front door, praying it wouldn't open. Eventually the noise stopped.